start the year that way was impressive for us. I think Hofstra is such a good team. They played UCF so well that we really wanted to challenge our physicality, challenge, I wouldn't say our toughness, but challenge our fortitude a little bit. And I think when we let the game flow and come to us and didn't try to manipulate it, we were pretty good, and something to build on. And we'll take a look at the tape on Sunday and get ready for Kansas City.
Dan, you talked about positivity from the two scrimmages and the balanced scoring, but were you expecting 23-4 to just come out and punch them in the mouth like that?
No, mostly because I think we really dialed in on hitting singles on offense, and that really opened us up. I think to the freedom we can play with and the pace we can play with, and then I think our defense really our preparation was at a pretty high level, we felt, and we were winning that shot profile game quickly, and I think that's how that snowball kind of happened.
Halftime, first time getting to talk to them at halftime. What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I think trying to hit singles again, and I felt like we from that first play where Denver swings it and swings the one more to goes off Cozy's foot. I feel like we got a little bit anxious there. I feel like we got a little the ball got a little sticky, right? So we were holding it for an extra second, and their defensive intensity. I mean, Coach Claxton and Hofstra are one of the best defenses around. Yeah, and I think that's what we're expecting. So that was good for us to go through that. I think we were able to kind of size up, put in Toby and Aliu to kind of free it up a little bit, and we manipulated matchups, and then we were good from there.
Between Denver and CJ and how each complemented one another, Denver had more of the floor game in the first half, and in the second half, CJ was more of a facilitator. How satisfied were you with that part of their games?
I think that's a credit to our depth. I think that's something we really recruited them to understand. You're not coming to just be a high usage guard and this is what it's going to look like. This depth, this team is pretty unique with the modes we can play in. I think we saw that a little bit tonight. And now it's on us to continue to show them what those modes are and continue to have those positive outcomes.
Dan, I know that Hofstra gaining on you in the second half, needless to say, had you working up a sweat. But how do you deal with that?
I think we're going to talk about it a ton, but it's just our decision making. I try to stay pretty poised throughout how we do things in our whole program. I think that's something we can look upon now and understand. Even at the end of the game, we're losing a little bit of those single battles, single possession battles. And to me, it's understanding our team, understanding how they're going to come together. It's probably the first time I'll use this crutch of all new players, all new system, and a lot of guys that, in a sense, haven't played in the end of the game with a win in a long time. So that I'm excited about that. I'm excited about where our progress is going and building from there.
You probably had a plan in terms of how you wanted to have a substitution pattern. Did you alter it as the game went on?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm finding quickly 20 minutes goes quick. So it's a little difficult to play 10 in the 20 minutes. So I think we're just continuing to use our bench and how we feel the game and how we can weaponize them. And honestly, to me, what Khalil Badru just did is what Iona basketball is going to be. He didn't play in our last scrimmage, and he didn't play in the first half here. And, I mean, that kid was All-America East rookie team last year. For him to stay determined, stay positive, and stay not even stay with it because it's the first game, but to be ready when his number's called, to defend and do what he needs to do, I thought that was a big positive for our program, not just for Khalil, but where we're headed. I think guys can understand this is going to be a little different. We're a little different. I say it a lot. We're an unusual job. We got an unusual team, so that's the good part about where we're going.
How important is it to have someone as versatile as Lamine at the 5 who can do a little bit of everything?
Very. I just think sky's the limit for him. We just got to get him comfortable in what this looks like. I would assume his usage hasn't been that high in a long time. So I think for him and for his now, how is he recovering How's he preparing? How's he going to play against Kansas City? How's he recovering? How's he preparing? How's he going to play against Fordham? That's where we're going to take him in that professional approach.
Coach Jaden asked you a little bit about CJ before, but I got to pry a little bit more. I mean, I feel like I can't say enough about the guy tonight. He finishes with 25 points, 5 assists, but I thought what really stood out to me was sort of the defensive effort. He held Cruz Davis to, I think, just 5 for 15 shooting, was covering him most of the night. Brings a lot of that energy in the first half that I thought kind of helped you guys get out to the quick start. Just, what'd you make of his performance, and really how impactful do you think he's going to be down the line this season?
Yeah, I mean, CJ, I'm like obsessed with that guy. You know what I mean? He's like the heartbeat of our team, and since he's got here, that's just what he's done. He's won everything. He's won every tug of war challenge in the summer. He's won every sprint when it's time to go. He understands. We do a little bit of like data collecting throughout the summer and the fall, and he's the top guy in everything. He understands when it's winning time, where to go. 25 points on 6 shots is nuts. I don't think I've seen that one before. That's a unique stat line. But I think for him, just getting comfortable and very similar to Lamine, like now he's got to recover and now he's got to prep for Kansas City, and that's going to be different coverages and different lineups and things like that. That's our challenge here. That's our challenge here. We believe in our players. We believe in their talent and their demeanor. And to be honest, like our biggest thing, we really believe in the human beings in that room. They really are together and for each other, and that's a unique deal in this age.
Coach, the energy in the building from the beginning from the crowd was suffocating. How do you think they played into the hot start you were leading 20-2 through the first 5 minutes?
Yeah, they got me blacked out. I was on the court throwing fist bumps. I didn't know which way was up. But I think again, it's the reason I took this job. There's like one reason. I felt that when I played here. I say it all the time that this is a very, very special place with a lot of special people. That's why we really do care about that legacy, the tradition, and then how we're gonna up it here. And that's why, to me, that's I was excited the whole week about it. Sleep was good. Sleep score was okay, but I think I was very energized what that was going to look like. And when that happened, and you could feel that crowd pop, I think our guys could feel it too, and we benefited from that greatly, and we're going to the whole year. You know what I mean? I think Fordham being the blackout game, that's our next test for our crowd too. This place is unbelievable. We started out here 1-0. Now it's time for them to come out even more and be even louder. We're excited.
Would you say the demons from 2010 are exercised now?
The refs were on our side this time.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, how'd that feel today?
It felt good to play with my teammates, play with the coaching staff, just to play for Gale Nation. For the first time, you hear about it all summer. You hear about it once you commit. So it's for it to be the first night, Friday, after waiting from Monday till Friday to play. It was I had fun playing with my teammates and under my coaches today.
CJ, your wait was a lot longer. Thinking about redshirting last year, building up to this moment. So it's not just a 4-day wait, but we're talking months, if not more. Can you kind of take us through that journey leading up to your performance tonight?
First, I got to thank God because obviously I believed in his plan every step of the way. So, even days where I wanted to play or days I couldn't play, I just always believed that he would, put me in a position to be great one day. So I try to stick to that routine and just believe in his plan. And then, obviously I'm grateful to be here with my teammates.
CJ, did you feel like there was a certain sense of electricity to play first game as a member of the Gales first time?
Yeah, it's always urgent to play for the Gales. You learn that pretty quickly here that, this is a winning program. And, me and my teammates, we all felt that pressure, I believe. And we felt the intensity and, just wanted to have fun and show everybody what we was capable of.
CJ, 25 points is going to get a lot of attention, but some other parts of your game, getting to the line 15 times short and 11 fouls. What can you say about your aggressiveness and how that's developed as you guys have prepared to start the year?
It really just come from my teammates and my coaches. Like they believe in me, they trusted me. Like I said, we started this journey June 14th, and it started with me playing with Denver and then saying, nah, we got to get each other better. It started me playing with 9 and saying, nah, we got to get each other better. So I just believe it really came from just my teammates believing in me and then obviously just them being aggressive too. They showed their game and all right, a lot of people had to respect that, so just happy to be my night tonight, but it could have easily been anybody else.
This is for all three of you, when you guys get together and you start practicing, and then you start to have this process of getting to this point tonight, and then you start off in the first 4 minutes of the game like you guys did today. What do you, when you first walk off the court in the first media timeout, and you're looking at the scoreboard, and you're like, wow, what are you guys feeling at that moment? For each one of you, I want to hear what you guys are thinking.
I would say a lot of excitement, but we came back to that timeout saying it's not like it's the first media. Like, don't get too high, don't get too low. Really just staying true to ourselves and then just coming out and playing hard throughout the whole entire game.
No, really, I believe that's right though. You know, a lot of us been in college for a couple of years, like guys that started the group, so we knew, you know what I mean, you gonna have runs, it's the name of the game, so we trying to get to that poise though, and that understanding that this is what we're supposed to do, and just, keep adding on to it.
Can we talk about that dunk for a minute? Even your teammates I heard a few expletives. What was that moment like?
I mean, amazing, and they thought I couldn't do it because I don't really be doing this in practice, but I called it in pregame that I would definitely gonna dunk on somebody.
He did.
But,
Denver, being back home in the greater home area, I caught your high school coach in the building. I'm sure you had some family as well.
Yes, sir.
How do you kind of put meaning into that at the start of the new year and that experience?
It's amazing to be back, just to see everybody come out and support me, even through everything I went through my college career, and just coming back and being able to play today is really a blessing, for real. Like, just being able to come back and trust the coaches that I'll play the game that I like to play, and being with my teammates every day, like, everything's just perfect, so.
Why does everybody invoke teammates? Why is everybody invoking teammates? Everyone's talking
Just
about teammates.
because we really love each other. Like, this whole summer, preseason, we bumping heads every day. We see each other every day. We talking every day. Like, we really brought that brotherhood into the locker room, and I feel like everybody in here really just feels it. Like, everybody can say whatever they need to. We can have that, those hard conversations, and no one like really gets on one another. Like, after, it's kind of just, we talk about it and it's done. So I feel like we brought that, like I said before, that brotherhood into the locker room, and you guys saw that tonight.
I mean, you were somebody identified in the preseason by the coaching staff as like a pleasant surprise. Or how have you brought something to the table that might have been more than what you've shown on film previously?
I feel like, so back in my other schools, they didn't really believe in me, and as soon as I got here on campus, I saw the positive energy from coach, and he just started believing in me, and I started handle more the ball, to like find open spots for my teammates and to make them make the shots in. So yeah.
CJ, I was told that after the LaSalle scrimmage, that first practice after, there was more energy, maybe a bit more swagger to the team. Then to go through the first 4 minutes today and to put everything that you learned into practice, how did that feel?
It felt good, but I feel like my guys saying but it's the first game, we not about to just get excited, overly do it. Like, we've been in college for a couple of years now. We understand how long the season gets. So, we had fun. It was a good night, but, once 12 o'clock hit, we got to get ready for KC. So,
Yes, sir.
That's kind of what happened with LaSalle. We did good against LaSalle. So, all right, that's fun. Lehigh coming up next, so let's go ahead and get ready for that one. So, I think that's just kind of our mindset as a team and as brothers, and I feel like that's just going to keep helping us prepare this year.
As you guys are more experienced, when you guys see somebody like Khalil come off the bench, not play the whole first half, comes off the bench second half, brings all that energy, really he kind of helped shut the door and put you guys back ahead. Is that kind of a lesson that you guys were teaching the younger guys as we prepare for the season here? I mean, must make you guys feel good to see a younger player be ready to go.
Yeah, it's kind of that next man up mentality, like never really getting down. He's had a lot of ups and downs throughout this preseason, but I'm glad he kept his head today and really came out and showed that everybody that he's a great player.
I believe, I just want to add, Khalil's my dog, so I just always appreciate him, like, you know, the stuff he does, and like it's very valuable to not just our team but to himself too. Like the way he plays, like it's a winning gesture. Like he plays to win. So whenever he hops on the court, that's what we're gonna get. You're gonna get his best foot forward. So was it a shock to us? I don't think it was really a shock to whatever he did. We just told him, like, bro, like at halftime, if you get in the game, like when you get in the game, like it's on. So I believe he took that to heart, and it showed tonight.
Denver, what does it mean to get Coach Turo's first win on opening night here in
It's
Jerusalem?
amazing. I mean, really just, even when I first came here on campus, I felt that spark right away. So when we made that connection and we built that relationship, it just means way more now, just to see him get that first win. And even like with his background and finally getting that opportunity to coach a real team, I feel like it just shows a lot out of him.